Welcome back. We now start our second session, which will concentrate on the new media industries that sprung up around the internet and that concern themselves with audiovisual content as well, and thereby challenge the film industry from without, so to speak. And our first guest is Jamie Kantrowitz. She's Senior Vice President of Marketing and Content for MySpace in Europe, based in London. Welcome.
Thank you.
MySpace probably to most of you is a household name, but let me just mention that it has more than 180 million users worldwide right now, and it features or has on that site is a platform for 6 million bands, music bands, and for about 65,000, you told me yesterday, filmmakers. Jamie will speak about the web platform, MySpace, becoming a channel for independent filmmakers, or platforms like MySpace becoming a platform for independent filmmakers. And she will, of course, I figure, mention the My Movie Mashup, the first user-generated movie project. And let me quickly introduce our second guest as well, Stefan Lecher. Welcome.
Thank you.
Stefan works for Google. He is Strategic Partnership Development Manager with Google, based in Paris. He joined Google in 2004. And, of course, is in charge of Google Video and YouTube content partnerships. Okay, without further ado.
Hello. Let me start by saying to please excuse my voice, and if I have a major coughing fit in the middle of this presentation, the winter has caught up with me. So I'll do my best to be clear. I thought we would liven things up a little bit. Stefan and I agreed on this, and show you guys a little bit of video. I'm going to start with a little bit about MySpace. Obviously, we'll see some more on Google Video later, but just to liven things up and give you an overview of kind of the ways that a community site has also become, manifested itself as an entertainment destination and ultimately a portal. So I think this movie will give you a broad overview of that. Oh, where's my stool?
Hello, my name is Borat. I only a second Kazaki man ever on MySpaces.
Raise your hand if you're on MySpace.com.
MySpace. I'd like to thank all of my MySpace friends, particularly Tom, who've been there from day one. I can't tell you how touched I am.
Russell Brand is going to be doing a special one-off show in London next week, exclusively for his MySpace friends.
The inclusion of music on MySpace has been one of the biggest reasons for the site's success. Unknown artists have demonstrated that social networking sites can be an effective means of promoting themselves.
Well, I signed my record deal this time last year, September, and then I set up a MySpace, which is a website, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, in December.
Familiar with it? I have a MySpace address of my own.
Really?
The whole world's going to hell, you just going to sit there? We have to act together to solve this global crisis.
I grew up on this hill. These are my people.
Watch the exclusive premiere at myspace.com/Brotherhood UK from October the 2nd.
All right. Those kids in the Skins trailer are actually all the interns at MySpace, just so you know. So what I'm going to talk about today a little bit, at least in a brief overview, and then I think we'll get to some of the more strategic questions in the Q&A, is just to give you a little bit of an overview of what MySpace exactly is and how it works and why the audience is attracted to it. And then specifically is how that's sort of changing what marketing and distribution means in a medium of a networked community versus a broadcast one. And then finally, taking that into filmmaking and just showing you a couple of examples online of some of the things that we're doing in film from both... Which one is that? From some of the stuff that we're doing in film, from how we work with major studio marketing, some of the more grassroots stuff, indie films, my movie Mashup, which was mentioned, which is a really amazing independent film project, which is just announced from London last week, and a little bit about our film channel, and I'll probably go over my 10 minutes, but we'll try and run through it pretty quickly. So just a basic overview of the company. It was launched in January 2004, and from the very beginning the idea was that there's all these portals that provide information and where you live your life online, and with the way that people were starting to use the internet in more communicative ways, Web 2.0 tools, why not put them all together and create an environment where a portal could be built ultimately on what the users create and not necessarily what was being edited for them. And it actually wasn't that complicated of an idea. We looked at all of the great 2.0 tools out there, from Craigslist and classifieds to event organizing, communities, blogs, how people were developing music profiles on the internet, all those things. And we put it together on one platform. And I think a major key thing about our own company, which we still subscribe to, is that we took a very sociological approach to the audience. So instead of going to the best R&D people and saying this is the coolest technology out there, the most early adopter, we actually really listen to our audience and think about what tools they want to use and what's useful in their everyday lives, and that's what we deliver to them, and that's how we continually evolve the platform. So because of that, MySpace has really become a place where you live your life online, where everyone is really expressing themselves, obviously connecting with friends and with people around like-minded interests, and more importantly to this audience, I think, discovering pop culture. When you put your life online anywhere, a lot of pop culture pervades people's lives, whether it's their love for movies, music, art. It's kind of what defines them in an everyday society. So naturally, people are going to use a community site to express what they love in culture. And just really quickly, this is actually a really rudimentary diagram of what MySpace sort of looks like. It's essentially a technology platform that's made up of a lot of tools that allow you to customize a communications experience. Taking you through some of the numbers, there's 140 plus million actual user profiles. So imagine individual websites built on this technology platform. User interest groups, music, I mentioned 6.1 million bands. I looked up the stats last night. It's actually 7.1 million bands. 50 million people using it to publish their blogs,